世界嘅香港大家好，香港嘅香港大家好。今日咧，我哋要講下 VPN Virtual Private Network 究竟係乜嘢嘢嚟嘅。咁今日咧請嚟嘅嘉賓咧係 Uni NordVPN 嘅香港同埋台灣嘅 Country Head. So it's my pleasure to introduce Uni, who is the head of Hong Kong and Taiwan of the company NordVPN. It's good to have you here, Uni, to talk about technology.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me.
Yeah.
It's
great. Yeah, thank you so much. It's kind of amazing with technology. We can get connected in different parts of the world. And I guess, first of all, people heard of the term VPN, virtual private network. But before that, NordVPN, a lot of people from Hong Kong heard of this brand, but they don't know too much about the history of it. Maybe the first minute or two, can you let us know what is NordVPN and how did it all get started?
So NordVPN first started almost 10 years ago. So we definitely have a pretty long history of working in the market. And it started as a pretty small project. And basically the creators, our founders, they saw all the VPNs on the market at that time. And they were basically more created for the access of content, for torrenting, for accessing everything that is not as legal. And they wanted to create a product that would be a bit more towards cybersecurity and privacy and anonymity. So the main goal was to provide people the access to the internet, but a secure access to the internet, where they could feel safe, where they could feel secure, where they could be anonymous. And now we have over 14 million people around the world. We did not start working in East Asia, especially Hong Kong, Taiwan, since from the beginning, but I would say maybe in the past 4 or 5 years, we definitely started moving towards not only the American market, not only the European market, but also into East Asia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea, Japan. So we were working hard to reach people there. And especially since 2020, we're very well known in Hong Kong because since all the political issues happened in Hong Kong, we definitely reached a lot more people there. So we're continuing to work. We're continuing to develop our product. So it's not only a VPN at the moment. We have the whole umbrella company. So we also have Password Manager, NordPass. We also have NordLocker for safe cloud storage. We also have NordLayer for businesses. So it's becoming not only just a VPN for some people, but it's becoming the whole cybersecurity company because we want to not just provide one product. We want to provide different products so people can feel safe in different areas of their cyber life.
Okay. So you're saying currently there are over 4 million people using NordVPN?
14.
1-4.
Yes.
14 million globally using NordVPN. Wow. And the headquarters is based in Lithuania, which is in Eastern European country. Is that correct?
Yes. So we have our main jurisdiction is in Panama, so we're registered in Panama. But we also have a lot of different offices around Europe. One of the main ones being in Lithuania. We have a lot of marketing working from Lithuania, but then we also have people working remotely from Japan, South Korea, Cyprus, the Netherlands, Germany. We recently opened an office in Berlin. So it did start in Lithuania with several Lithuanian people, but then it just expanded. Not only the users, but also the workers are all across the world, which makes it much easier to communicate to people around the world, as we have people working with different languages, different locales. So it's very exciting.
Now, virtual private network, that's the name, the long name for VPN. And people use VPN to gain access to like blog websites, and journalists that use VPN. Sometimes it is almost for their own personal safety as well. It's more than just going to, let's say, a North American um, website to watch entertainment, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. So for us, we have several main, I would say, like features that we work with. So one is definitely security of all the devices that you may have that you are connected to the internet with. Another one is surely connecting to all the different contents, Netflix, it might be other streaming services,
Yeah.
because people definitely use VPNs for that to connect to a Japanese server and play Japanese mobile games. That's what Taiwanese use it a lot for.
Mm.
And then there's also anonymity, so people don't want to be tracked by their internet service providers or governments. That is for journalists, that is for activists. So we had a lot of Hong Kong-based journalists using VPN because they want to feel safe on the internet. So those are sort of the main features, and we're definitely leaning towards more the cybersecurity and privacy, especially now Google does not like streaming services anymore, or
Mm.
they don't want any advertisement for that. So we're definitely moving towards more cybersecurity topics, and we want to provide more hiding your IP or changing your IP address so that you, even if you're in Hong Kong, virtually you might be in the US working from there. So it's definitely a good way from people who want to be a bit more safe on the internet.
Right. I guess the growth, you mentioned currently you are one of the biggest, it's 14 million users globally. And since you are almost, I'm not sure whether you are the biggest or almost the biggest, but seems like the market potential for it is huge. Just like
Mhm.
Facebook is definitely more than just 14 million users, right? So potentially, if in a country when it becomes more restrictive, doesn't matter where that country is, but I'm just saying it broadly speaking, then
Mm,
the usage could be potentially higher than is expected.
definitely. So usually we track different internet restrictions every single day. So we see in the news what is happening around the world.
Yeah.
And we do see it in our trends as well. So, for example, when there were protests in Myanmar with all the internet restrictions, we definitely saw the numbers grow across the whole market, not just NordVPN, but also other VPN providers. The
Hmm.
same was in Hong Kong in 2020. The same was in Belarus when all the very recent protests happened.
Yes.
So, whenever there is internet restriction coming from the government, we definitely see the numbers increase. The same happens when some product gets banned or some product gets restricted. That might happen anywhere around the world. It might happen in the US, that might happen in Myanmar, that might happen in South Africa. So it's definitely a big part of our job just to see what is happening around the world and just keeping our finger on the pulse,
Hmm.
and helping people in any way we can. So
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
Got it. Now, may I just ask you a little bit about Myanmar? I heard everybody know that there's uh, a lot of political tension, and then Aung San Suu Kyi is under house arrest, and then the military takes over the well, like the supporters of Aung San right now
Mm.
is not in power anymore. I mean, Aung San Suu Kyi, and
Mhm.
then what happened to that country? Do they block people from using the internet? I heard it's restrictive. It's not like a 24-day you can get access to the internet. I mean, for the whole country, it's only during certain hours. So what's the deal there?
I do not have as much information on Myanmar, but yes, in the beginning, especially, they blocked most of the social media. So Twitter was one of the first to fall.
Yeah.
And we definitely got a lot of new users or people coming for emergency VPN because they needed to know the news, they needed to know what was happening. But then the internet itself got shut down. And with that, we cannot help in any way. If the internet itself is shut down or just turned off during
Mm,
certain hours of the day, then even with a VPN, there is no internet connection, so we cannot provide any support in this way. And that does tend to be an issue with other countries as well that experience just internet shutdowns, not any censorship or surveillance, but just simple Wi-Fi turn off, and that's it. Um, so it's one of the issues that are difficult, and we cannot help in any way. Even if people come to us, they
yeah.
say, "Hey, internet is not working." There's nothing that we can do.
Mm,
It is heartbreaking,
mm,
definitely. So a situation where just Twitter is turned off, it's a bit easier for VPNs to go across that and support people. Um, but when it's just an overall, okay, at night you cannot use internet, there's nothing we can do.
mm.
We don't have that technology yet.
Okay. I guess this is the first introduction of not like like 12 episodes, but at least it's the first episode of our understanding of what a VPN is, and also give our viewers a glimpse of what NordVPN stands for today. And I guess in the second episode, if possible, we can talk a little bit more about the different teams behind your
Mhm.
company. I guess with a technology company, there's always scientists, technical people to
Mhm.
enhance the system, so as to
Absolutely.
enhance the privacy um, and the security. And I want to say thank you because it is a brand that over the last 2 years, especially, people suddenly in Hong Kong, they heard a lot about this brand name,
Mhm.
and it's becoming more and more important to know the usage of a VPN in uncertain times. And I want to say thank you, Uni, for that.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Yeah. So let me
Thank
just
you.
stop this